Fit check time, gentlemen. How about Deebo Samuel showing up in his first game as a Commander?
Yeah,
how's he looking?
How about that, man? He doesn't
Well, I see them shiny shoes. One thing about Deebo, first game, he got to be Deebo today for the team.
And there's Russell Wilson showing up as the Giants and Commanders get set to go head-to-head. That's one aging quarterback, but as Adam Schefter gets us started with some of the news of this Sunday, we begin with another aging quarterback, Schefter.
Greeny, for all the concern there was this summer about Matthew Stafford, he will start today against the Houston Texans, and the Rams don't seem overly concerned about him. He'll deal with pain-killing injections. He is 37. He does have a bulky back, but Matthew Stafford is one of the toughest players in the league. The Rams thought he would be out there all along on opening day, and he will be today against the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers get back their team captain, Cam Hayward, just before today's opener against the Jets. After Hayward did not practice with his team throughout the summer, they get a revised contract done where they add $3 million of incentives to boost the value of his deal potentially to up to $18 million. Without that raise, Hayward would have had to make a big decision. Now he doesn't. Meanwhile, during the spring league meeting, NFL executive Troy Vincent warned coaches, GMs, and executives that there would be, as one source recalled, zero tolerance for acts that demean the game, and the league would come down hard on any violations. Now, we saw what happened on Thursday night with Jalen Carter and Dak Prescott. Now, the belief around the league also is that Jalen Carter did serve time. He missed the entire game at this point in time. The fine in the past, the punishment in the past has been a fine as well. No player has been suspended additionally. We'll see how the league decides to handle this, but a ruling should come down on Monday, Greeny.
Now, which is interesting, they play the defending, the rematch of the Super Bowl, I should say, against Kansas City next week. They opened their defense on Thursday. Not the prettiest of starts, but they did win the game against Dallas. Saquon Barkley, that 10-yard touchdown run. Cowboys had every chance to win this game in the fourth quarter. Two big drops from C.D. Lamb, contributing to what was a tough night for the Cowboys. In the end, the Eagles escape with a win that left a lot of questions for a lot of different people. Alex, you were saying the Eagles kind of reminded you of a team that might be familiar at our table.
Yeah, a little bit. Listen, you said it. They did not play great, right? Like, A.J. Brown had, one catch. Devontae Smith, not really a factor. Saquon didn't play great. They lose Jalen Carter right off the bat. They still won, right? Great teams, they don't have their best, can still win ball games. It does. It reminds me, I'm not saying they're this, but as a team, it reminded me of you guys in New England. That's impressive at this level.
And for Sirianni, I think that's a testament to Sirianni. How he had these guys focused. I mean, yes, the average team that made the mistakes lost. All right, the great team that made even probably more mistakes. We'll lose our best player on defense. Yeah, no big deal. We'll commit multiple penalties. All right, no big deal. We still win the game because they know other ways to win football games. That's why the Eagles are world champions.
You never have to apologize when you win.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter style points. And Sirianni, I mean, look, he doesn't care. Man, we're going to run it 50 times, whatever it takes to win. They keep getting it done, and it is frustrating because they do remind me of those darn Patriots, too.
Just getting the W, that's all I hear up here, and that's rightfully so because, like you said, everybody didn't play well. You're defending your turf, get the W. But if there's one thing that really stands out to me, let me talk about C.D. Lamb. You're the third highest paid wide receiver in all of football. And then when it's crunch time, you don't show up for your team. And yeah, I get that. Yeah, we do miss some passes sometimes as wide receivers. But you're on the road in a divisional game against the defending champs. Right here, that's not a defensive play. That just bounces right off the chest of C.D. Lamb. Right here, this has got to have it down for C.D. Lamb. Right here, you go out and stretch out and get the ball. So looking further, we always praise Dak Prescott and C.D. Lamb when things go well, but when they're bad, they're bad. C.D. Lamb, I need better effort out of him going forward.
And he's their best player.
Yes.
And quite honestly, his teammates showed up in a big way, I thought. And sometimes, I don't know. I think Dallas is going to be pretty good.
They'll be all right.
We'll see. C.D. Lamb almost always makes those catches. A guy who's going to make sure he doesn't drop any balls today is T. Higgins. What do you think, Randy? He's practicing catching the tennis ball. Is that a good way?
That's one thing. Always working with his wide receiver, Troy Walter. He had some stint in the National Football League. So one thing about the tennis ball, working on your hand and eye coordination.
His quarterback, of course, is Joe Burrow, and that brings us to one of our favorites, Mr. Rodgers versus Coach Glenn in Week 1. So the Steelers and the Jets, among the most interesting of the early window kickoffs, and Evan Kaplan is here. He's our research producer, has all the numbers. So I think the question that people have been asking at this point for months, what exactly are the Steelers getting in Aaron Rodgers?
Simply put, Greeny, they're getting an upgraded quarterback, right? We're talking about touchdown passes over the last 3 seasons, 54 for Aaron Rodgers in 35 games. Remember, he only played 4 snaps in 2023 before that torn Achilles. How about the Steelers? 46 touchdown passes in 51 games. Look at the difference in games between Rodgers and the Steelers. That is last in the NFL, fewest touchdown passes for any team since Ben Roethlisberger retired following 2021. And when we talk about touchdowns, it's Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams who has been his number one for all these years. Now he's got a new number one in DK Metcalf. So dug in and looked at what may tie those two together. 900 receiving yards each of the last 6 seasons. Those two players, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin. DK Metcalf has done it in his first 6 years in the NFL. That's a select group. Of course, it includes our guy Randy, right? Like, how would it not?
Right.
But no preseason, right, for Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. We'll see them on the field for the first time today at MetLife. Will be fascinating to see their chemistry in that Steelers offense.
Aaron Rodgers and chemistry, always an interesting topic. Let's take it over here. Those are some of the numbers. I want to see some of the pictures, as everybody does. But let's start with the chemistry, Alex, obviously, between these two, because it will be critical.
Yeah, well, obviously, Aaron Rodgers had a great rapport with Davante Adams. We know that. Listen, he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in football. He's been trying to get his new receiver, DK Metcalf, up to speed. Let's hear what DK had to say about it.
He'll challenge me on the field, off the field, throwing signals at me, ask me questions in the hallway, trying to see what I would do against different coverages. So it's always a learning experience for me.
Always a learning experience. What's he talking about? Here's his new quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, last season at the line of scrimmage. You can see him signaling out to the sideline. I mean, we've been watching this for 2 decades. Aaron at the line, getting to a different play. Again, look at the situation. Tie ball game, 3rd and 10. There he is signaling up top. Who's he signaling to? There's his guy, Davante Adams, right? Aaron recognizes the one-on-one. He's going to take advantage. Teddy, look how quickly he throws this goal ball, right? DB doesn't have a chance to turn and locate, doesn't know where it is. Davante with the great sideline catch. A huge conversion in this game, which led to a win. Fast forward to today's matchup. DK Metcalf, Sauce Gardner. We're going to see it. DK, one of the biggest, strongest, fastest human beings in the NFL. He puts so much pressure on you as a DB. You can't get your head around, can't make the play. I guarantee you Aaron's going to try to exploit this today. And again, I know the narrative about Aaron. He's getting older. He's slowed down. He's not as mobile as he once was. I'll tell you what, you turn on the tape at the end of last season, it proves otherwise. Again, he started to trust his leg again. They got him hemmed in here, right? He's starting to be confident again in his mobility to extend plays, to improvise a little of that old Rodgers magic. Again, the game-winning touchdown to Davante Adams here. Listen to this. The most completions in the NFL outside the pocket the entire second half of the season. I think people would be shocked to know that. And again, I know he's no spring chicken. I know he's no spring chicken. Listen. He's another year removed from a traumatic surgery on his leg. And again, I've been here. I believe I really, truly could beat myself in a 40 today than when I came back and played, right?
Really?
He's another year removed. He's stronger. His body compensates. I believe he's still got gas in the tank. I think we're going to see it today.
We can race.
Let's go. Come on.
We can actually create that in this brand new studio. So that's an offense that probably doesn't have to be dominant. It just has to be better than average for this team to win. Let's then look at a defense that could be sneaky dominant this year.
Yeah, it's the New York Giants, especially along the defensive front. Dexter Lawrence is leading them. I can't wait to watch this defensive line get after the passer. Number 3 overall pick out of Penn State, Abdul Carter, in the preseason, in week 1, versus one of the best tackles in the game, setting up an inside move. Let's rotate this a little bit so I can show you the intricacies of what he's doing. I love it when rookies use the preseason to work their techniques and work their craft. A nice club with the rip coming through, exactly what the coaches want you the technique to use. Now, these pressures in the preseason, hopefully for the New York Giants, he will learn, and those will turn into sacks and impact plays, because he has a great example on the other side in Brian Burns. You see it here, the speed rush, but just watch how quickly. Hands, get it off me, clear him, get it off me, use the left hand to force the fumble, and Burns knows he's got to help Carter, but he knows Dexter Lawrence helps him.
Dexter's one of the best to do it, and you know, the way he does it, I mean, obviously he has brute strength, but he's so much smarter than that, you know, and like that's why I say he's a master at manipulating body positions, you know, and of course it takes strength to do that, but it also takes length and technique
Ooh, let's see all those words that he's using. Let me take you into the floor right here to show you what Sexy Dexy is doing here, because I would love to play behind this guy right here. You see him right here with the power and the arm over, getting to the quarterback, Geno Smith, last season. But let me take you closer up here, because you've got to see this guy and what he does. The press, the strength. You see the offensive lineman's body just buckle as he brings him back. That's the brute strength that Burns is talking about. And then just when they anchor and want to return him with strength, there's the technique, there's the arm over, there's Dexter Lawrence in the floor showing you what it's all about. One of the best in the business. I can't wait to see this defensive line operate today.
Now, the Giants are a team, they have the hardest schedule in the entire NFL, so their record may or may not reflect it. A lot of people think they could be the most improved team in the entire league this year. And Sexy Dexy is in the house, guys, as he's getting set to try and lead the Giants